Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Fab's in the house. And today I've got this pretty cool Rassenti Satori Damasteel blade here with me for a review. We're gonna analyze the look, the sound, and the feel of this guy. But first of all, let me say a big thank you to my buddy Rene for sending this guy along for me to check it out. And secondly, don't forget to like the video and to subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying this kind of content. So let's see how big this guy is, because it's not a small boy. This is an 8.5-inch long overall knife with a 3.6, like I would say 3.5 inch long cutting edge. Overall blade is 3.7, something like that, with a almost 5-inch long handle. So not a small guy, but let's see how this guy compares to some other options right over here. So this is, for example, the Ontario Rat number 1, and this guy over here is the Ontario Rat number 2, and you can see it's smaller than the Rat number 1. So not huge, but still it's beefy. It feels bigger, I would say, in the hand, because probably it's tall. But of course, if you check the custom knife factory version of this guy, is going to be a little bit bigger, I think. If I remember correctly, I don't have it here. This is the Spyderco Para 3, and you can see how this guy compares to that, and the Spyderco Paramilitary 2 right over here. So I would say right about the same size of a PM2, but you've got a little bit more cutting edge and a shorter handle for sure. Let's see what we have. The usual suspects here. We are showing you the Chris Reeve knives, small Sebenza 21. This case is just a spirograph blade, and right over here we've got a large Sebenza 21 carbon fiber inlays, also by Chris Reeve Knives, and just another couple options here to show you the custom knife factory 520 Philippe Georget designed, and also another custom knife factory from Russia with love, Snafu 2.0, also designed by Peter Rassenti. Another couple options over here. I want to show you from Russia, Shirogorov Neon Zero and Shirogorov F95 are slim. So right in between the offerings from Shirogorov, which I really like. And also, what else can I show you? Well, just because I have them here, this is the Shirogorov Neon Custom Division, and this is the Shirogorov F5 Silk Slim. So same thing that of the two that you just saw, but just in the custom division shape. Another couple options, pretty popular. We've got here a ZT0562 with the blue carbon fiber and PVD coated blade. What else can I show you? Just another couple, guys. Koenig Knives Arius with a marble carbon fiber right over there. And just because we are in Canada, of course, I'm gonna show you the Kirby Lambert Rain, and I'm gonna show you another Peter Rassenti Nirvana 3.0. So pure Canadianness going on over here. High-end blades, beautifully made, handmade in Canada by Canadian knife makers, like top level Canadian knife maker. This is the Peter Rassenti Satori with a Damasteel blade and Timascus clip. I mean, this is the original clip, just a stonewashed titanium clip. This is Adam Purvis, so it's an aftermarket one. Really cool, nice springy tension. But let's check out the look of this guy, because this is a very cool knife. Like, look at this line, the sweeping line on the top is just great. You have a very cool titanium milled handle. It's an integral chunk of titanium Peter used to mill out this fantastic handle right over here. Look at this. I mean, how much time it takes to make this, I don't know, but it's very nicely done. I love the integral knives. There's no, you see, backspacers, no standoffs, nothing going on over here. It's just a solid chunk of titanium. You've got a nice lanyard hole over here, nicely centered. It's really looking good. Nicely placed and functional. You have a nice chamfering going on. It's not rounded off, it's like a straight line, but probably maybe like 60, 50 degrees, 45 degrees, I think. So nice chamfering going on the outside. On the inside, you don't have chamfering over here. There's no internal milling, of course, because it's an integral, so it would be like insane to mill the inside. I don't know if it's it has even done before. And then you've got, of course, your frame lock. There's no stainless steel insert here because there's no need for that. There's also no over travel stabilizer. In this case, you need to be careful, like because if you're gonna overextend the lock bar into this direction, you might risk to ruin it. So just pay attention to that. Also, you've got an external lock bar cutout right over here where Peter is hiding, in a way, his logo. You see right over there. Always underneath the clip you see the Peter Rassenti logo, which is just a classy touch. Right there. Also, this clip is aftermarket. It's a Damascus clip, nicely done by Adam Purvis. It's tip-up carry only, of course, not reversible. It's not ambidextrous in any ways. And of course, like the simplicity of this knife is outstanding. Just you have one screw. This is a T15 Torx screw that you're gonna need. The pivot is spinning, it's not caged, but it's super easy to take down. The screws are flush, they're not protruding from the handle, and you just pop this guy out, you push the pin out, and you are done. You just pull out the blade, and there's a couple bearings on the inside, and that's it. So really, the pieces count is really low. It's beautifully done, beautifully designed. It's super simple to take down, to maintain. Really a pleasure. Guys, I mean, would you look at this blade? I don't know, there's so much things going on in this one. For example, check out the jimping. It's aggressive. It's an aggressive jimping. It's strong. It's beautiful. It feels good in the hand. It's not, for example, if you check, where is it? Over here, if you check the snafu, sorry, the jimping is much more aggressive. You see, these are like teeth is more jagged and more aggressive than this one. This is just the right amount of jimping, really nicely done. And then here you have a beautiful divot, so you can choke it up like that. Use this as a finger choil, something like this, and then you can nicely and comfortably rest the thumb like this to do some really precise work, because you can use this side of the blade, scrape things off, and be really precise. Of course, you have a nice wedge which starts from this point and goes right up to the tip. Look at that, just beautifully sweeping down like this. And then you have a belly, I would say like 50% belly going on right here, and then you have a recurve going up to the sharpening choil right over there. This is a nice compound grind, because this part of the, let's say, tanto kind of part of the blade, it's a flat grind, whereas here you have a hollow grind. And look at the plunge grind right over here, guys, and check out how thin behind the edge this monster is. It's really thin. You have a nice flat going on over here. The stock thickness is on the thick side. It's not the thinnest of them all, but still, this is gonna slice like crazy. It's very solid. It's fantastic. The tip, you see, this widens up. The tip is really strong. Feels like super strong. Then you've got the stop pin, which is this guy. This is not a thumb stud. I really can't like use it as a thumb stud. So this is gonna be like a stop pin for the closed position and the stop pin for the open position right over here. So dual function. In fact, you see just a little bit of marks over here because when you whip it out, this guy is gonna make contact with the frame and it's gonna stop the blade right there, and the lock can engage to keep the blade open. And of course, it's super solidly built. Of course, you see there's no billboarding going on the blade. Really cool looking. This Damasteel is a dense twist. It's beautiful. I really like it. Look at that. Would you check this pattern going on over here? It's a piece of art. I really like it. Also, what I really love, it's this sound, because it's insane. When you open it, it's a thwack, and when you close it, it's a clink. It's a resounding and kind of loud clink, but when you open it, it's a beautiful clack. Oof! It's a pleasure to listen to this sound. Especially this. There is also like a, I don't know, like a resounding sound. It's so pleasant. It's so aggressive also at the same point, which I really love it. The feel of this guy is also really cool. In the hand, feels great. This guy weighs in at 5.9 ounces, so it's not the lightest of them all, but it has a very good heft to it. There's no hot spots whatsoever. It feels really good in the hand. I like the jimping, no sharp edges, even like from the clip. It's nicely designed, and it feels good in the hand. It's just nicely designed. I really appreciate also the reverse grip. It just it works out. So very cool. You can choke it up like that, like this. You can actually take advantage of this finger choil, which is I would say probably, yeah, a little bit, maybe, yeah, probably the same size as the Snafu, but it's a very good one. You can actually take advantage of this, absolutely. Also, this guy feels absolutely solid in the hand. It's built like a tank. It's a one chunk of titanium. It just transmits to your brain some sort of sturdy sensation of like quality, of robustness, of reliability, something that you feel it's solid in the hand, and that is great. Also, these grooves over here are gonna increase the traction and the friction that you can apply when you are squeezing the handle. And overall, I mean, it's built like perfectly. There's of course no gaps because there's no pieces. It's just one solid chunk. You have a very good ergos going on. I like this sweeping line. I love this curve, and then like a thumb ramp going on over here. The divot, it feels great in the hand. Also, the clip is nicely done. As you can see, the stock clip is thinner than this guy. There's a nice ramp. There's also nice tension to it, so it's nicely designed. The deployment speed is not the fastest because the blade is so heavy, but guys, it's really smooth. I'm telling you, it's flying open flawlessly, like crazy smoothly. So really cool. The flipper tab, it's ideally designed for a light switch like that, not so much for a push button, which you still can do, but you can see there's no chamfering going on in the flipper tab, and it's gonna hurt a little bit after a while if you're just gonna push it like that. It's still doable, but of course, look at this, like this curve like that is just designed for the finger just to do the light switch like this. Now, sorry, not like that, but like this. So keep that in mind. Of course, this guy is running on bearings. I mean, hello. And detent strength of this one, it's on the medium light side, but it's like, it's good. Of course, you've got a kickback from the blade, like from when the blade is deployed, because it's heavy and tends like to drag away the handle from your hand, and it's it's a solid feeling. It's something like you feel that this guy means business. Absolutely. The blade is nicely recessed. You can actually touch, feel a little bit the tip, but you need to jam your finger in, like in a way that it's unnatural. So it's still on the safe side. Of course, there's no rattling going on when shaken. The lock bar is surprisingly easy to disengage, even if there's no relief. You see, like over here, it's pretty much like flush with this presentation side, let's say, but you can just you just need to angle a little bit your thumb, and you're gonna be able to disengage the lock bar super easily. No detent ball ramp, but there's actually no need for that, because like this, so you see the detent ball hits the tang of the blade in this position, so you're gonna be just already like that good to close the blade like super easy. There's no lock stick, no need for a lock face insert, because the geometry is so good. Of course, you have a free fall action kind of thing as soon as you disengage the lock bar, and just bring the knife vertically to have this pretty scary guillotine effect with a beautiful sound to it. So you can just you see, like, it's a little bit difficult to do under the camera, but that's the idea. It's very fidgety as well. So I mean, overall, this is a pretty solid option. It's the Satori from Peter Rassenti. I mean, it's a fantastic one. It's a beast. It looks mean. It looks scary. It's beautifully overbuilt. Sounds great. Feels fantastic in the hand. I mean, what do you guys want more than that? Maybe a Nirvana? I don't know. But this is a solid option from Peter Rassenti. So there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe. And thanks for watching. Stay tuned.